Peace, everyone, and welcome to Morning Metta. Today, we're doing our loving kindness and compassion practice. We're going to ground first, then set an intention for the day, have our centering thought, and then I'll guide us through a compassion practice. Once we're done with that, we'll come back and have our call to action and wrap everything up. All right. For today, with our grounding, we're just going to tune into the body. I'm going to invite you just to take a hand, place it over the chest or the heart space, the other hand right below the belly button or the navel. And we're just going to tune into our body and notice what's arising for us in this moment. That's it. All right. So inviting you at this time to just first notice your breathing. You might be noticing your inhale and exhale at your chest, especially if you have your hand placed over the chest. So you might notice just a gentle movement of that hand up and down. And then you might notice also at the belly, the breath as you inhale and exhale, that hand might be moving just a little bit, rising up and falling down as you inhale and exhale. So all you're doing is just noticing right now. Noticing the body and anything else that might be arising. So there might be some thoughts and there might be some emotions, but just noticing in the body as those other things arise, bringing yourself back into the body gently and as best you can. All right. Now, bring all your attention into the breath. Let your inhale get a little longer. That exhale get a little longer. And come back to center. So now I'll invite you to take some time to notice how you're feeling right now. And you might even want to give a little bit of a massage to the chest area, right? Maybe continue to hold yourself a little bit. That might feel good for you. Or you might need to just do a little bit of stretching with the body. Okay. All right, so our practice now is to set an intention for the day. How do you want to show up for yourself or others? How do you just want to be today? What is it that you're really wanting for yourself? And set that intention now. You can use our sentence stem, my intention for today is, and use the next 5 to 10 seconds to set an intention for today. All right, go ahead and get started. All right. As always, wishing for you to just allow that intention to be and unfold naturally, always doing our best not to try to control everything and just to allow things to be as they need to. For our centering thought today, let's see what we have. This centering thought says, you are worthy of love and respect. And that starts with treating yourself with kindness and compassion. Again, you are worthy of love and respect. And that starts with treating yourself with kindness and compassion. That's a fitting quote for today, now that we're going into our compassion practice. And this practice for today, let's see, what's been on my mind is really this idea of compassion by way of just giving ourselves permission to be human. And that can mean a lot of things for different people, right? So maybe for some of us, we need to give ourselves permission to grieve. Maybe we need to give ourselves permission to be joyful and be happy. For others, it might be that we need to give ourselves permission to feel the anger that we have inside. Because remember, anger is not a bad emotion. It's all of it is useful. Everything is useful. So that's where I'm kind of landing today, giving ourselves permission and showing ourselves compassion by giving ourselves that permission. Because oftentimes when we want to show ourselves kindness, as the quote said, starting with ourselves by treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, it may take first that we acknowledge all parts of ourselves, not just the parts that we think other people think are nice, right? So I want to invite you at this time, find yourself a comfortable position. If you're seated, you can have your feet flat on the floor. Your hands can rest gently in your lap. You can hold your body and back straight, but not too tight or rigid. You can keep your eyes open, maybe have a low gaze, focus on an area, or you can close the eyes at this time. So we'll begin this practice by really leaning into our humanity by just noticing the breath first. Notice your inhale and exhale as it's going through the body. First, at the chest. Maybe as your chest rises and falls as you inhale and exhale. Then at the belly as it rises and falls as you inhale and exhale. It could be at the air at the tip of the nose or at the back of the throat as you breathe in and out. So the first thing I'm going to invite you to do is just to give yourself permission to rest in the breath. Just by noticing it, by paying attention to it. We're not doing anything to it. We're not holding it. We're just allowing it to be and noticing it as it is in the body. And now that we're just noticing the breath and paying attention to it, inviting you to allow it to support you and nourish you as we invite compassion into our lives. Bring to mind now a time where maybe you weren't as kind or compassionate to yourself. And let's bring something to mind that's not way, just way out there in terms of being really challenging. So if we had to, rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, let it be like a 1 or a 2. But bring that to mind now, a time when you may not have been as kind or as compassionate to yourself. And then just say gently to yourself, may I be accepting of myself. May I be kind to myself. May I be compassionate to myself. And I want you to pause here and just take note of what it feels like to invite that to yourself, for yourself. What's happening in the body? As you invite acceptance, kindness, and compassion to yourself, What are you noticing in your shoulders? If they happen to be tensing up, gently breathe and allow them to fall on your exhale. What are you noticing at the chest? Again, if it's tight, gently inhale in. And on the exhale, allow it to just expand and open up. And notice other parts of the body. As you've invited and given to yourself acceptance, kindness, and compassion in this moment. Any places that are constricting and that are tightening, breathe in and exhale out. Now again, inviting you to just gently say to yourself, may I be accepting of myself? May I be kind to myself? May I be compassionate to myself? Now I want you to pause here and take note of any thoughts arising right now. There might be some thoughts that are unpleasant, that are telling you that this is wrong. There might be thoughts that are relieved, that are inviting what you're offering to yourself right now. Whatever those thoughts are, just notice those thoughts. Just pay attention to what's arising. And as you notice those thoughts, any thoughts that might be challenging to hold, I'm going to invite you right now to just gently inhale in. Bring that thought to mind that might be challenging. And on your exhale, I want you to release out the breath as if you're releasing out that challenging thought with it. Inhaling in, noticing the thought, exhaling out, releasing out that challenging thought. And finally, inviting you again to say to yourself, may I be accepting of myself. May I be kind to myself. May I be compassionate to myself. Pause here. Notice the emotions arising in you right now, if any. Maybe there's a sense of unworthiness arising for some. Maybe there's a sense of guilt arising for some, thinking that you should be more kind, you should be doing more to be kind to yourself. And there may be some emotions arising of joy as you take in this sense of kindness and compassion. Whatever the emotions or emotion that is arising, inviting you to just notice. Just notice it. And now to support you in noticing that emotion and what that's like for you, inviting you to inhale in, gently name that emotion right now, joy, guilt, whatever it is. And on the exhale, breathe out. Release, let that emotion go, release it out. Breathing in, noticing the emotion, and breathing out, allowing that emotion to keep going, to release it. Now bring all of your attention back into the breath in the body. Allow the breath to get longer and deeper. And come back into this present moment. All right, everyone. That was our guided compassion practice for today. Focusing in on giving ourselves permission. I want to invite you to give yourself permission for something that you've been maybe overlooking, or maybe you have even been avoiding. Give yourself permission to be with that, whatever it is, knowing that you can acknowledge it and then go back inward and resource yourself through your breath and your body. All right, everyone. Call to action for today is give yourself permission. Anger, to notice that thought, to notice that physical sensation, to notice that emotion, and then to be with it as best you can and resource yourself when and if necessary. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this compassion practice. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with any and everyone that could benefit from the community. As always, we're going to begin our days with you all grounded, intentional, and connected. Ashe.